Hi everyone, my name is Suze and I work with women to help them find balance between their internal masculine and feminine energies so that they can have lives that feel really emotionally fulfilling, full of love and connection. Sorry about that, excuse me. So today I want to talk about safety versus sacrifice, or safety and sacrifice, however you want to look at it. This is something that I've been really working with for a while. And it's along the idea of I see so much information out there around red flags, right? Like, this is a red flag in a person. Look out for this red flag in a person, or this is toxic. That's toxic. This person, the situation is toxic. That's a narcissist. This is a narcissist. And the do's and the don'ts of dating, right? And all of this really negative energy, but all of this focus on like toxic do's and don'ts and red flags. And there's this huge culture out there of like promoting all this negative energy and all this negative attention on negative stuff. And to a certain point, that does hold value. Because if you do come from a very toxic, yes, background, or you've had a lot of really traumatic things and abuse happen to you in your background, coming out of abuse, sometimes you're not even aware of how abusive a past situation was. And so you do need to gain greater understanding of what love truly does look like, yes, and what love is not love, what is not love, or what may have been portrayed to you as love in your childhood maybe, and it was a very poor example and it was not love. So there is a certain extent that we do need this information of the red flags, the do's and the don'ts, and the whole toxic narcissistic culture and awareness. However, I am seeing this go way too far. Way too far. And it comes to a certain point, and this is the place where I believe a lot of the divine feminines, the collective that are finding me here on YouTube, and if you've been resonating with my message, or you're new here and you're curious about my message, if you've been drawn to me, you've moved past this space. And so now becomes a question of, where is your balance? Where is your line on the safety and the sacrifice? And are you willing to sacrifice some of your safety for deeper fulfillment and intimacy and connection? And that is really the question of the topic for today. Where's your line? Where's your balancing point of sacrificing some level of safety, comfort, known, predictability, sacrificing some of that, but you gain such deeper fulfillment, spiritual connection, emotional intimacy, bonding with your person or people in your life. And there's not enough emphasis on that. Feminine energy at its core doesn't have any boundaries. It is limitless. It is expansion energy, growth, expansion, freedom, no boundaries, no limits. That is all pure feminine energy. So there's always going to be a part in the feminine that's calling for more. There's always going to be a part in the feminine that wants deeper connection, deeper intimacy, deeper, more connected love in her life. But if we're so fixated on being safe all the time, feeling safe all the time, you're sacrificing some of this fulfillment that could be possible to you. You know, another aspect too about this is when you're looking at these whole, like, I'll just say the red flag bit for now, because that just is what's coming to mind. This is what started my journey a while back when I started noticing all this like red flag information out there, right? When you're really looking at everything so intensely black and white with like, this is a green flag, this is a red flag, it's not taking into account your particular life experience. And what I mean by that is, depending on what kind of past traumatic or wounding events or hurts, whatever past hurtful events you had, that is directly going to shape your value system, your desires of what you really want to feel fulfilled in your life, and it's going to shape your value system of what's important to you. So, what is important to you or something that you value is not going to be the same as what's important to the next person because they've had a completely different life experience to you. And taking that a step further, so therefore, how you view something or perceive a particular way a person is behaving is going to be different than the next person because everything you're perceiving with that person is from the filter of the glasses of your life experience. So we can't just have this whole black and white, red flag and green flag because you're completely denying everyone's unique experience and the desires of their heart and what they have learned to value because of the hardships they have been through. What one person is going to value, the next person is not. So who are we to say that's a red flag or a green flag? It's all about where you are in your journey, how you have learned to perceive or filter particular things based on your life experience. So it's a very individual experience about what feels nurturing and growing, what makes my heart expand, what allows me as a feminine to soften into it, what do I really feel like this drawing to from my heart space, this drawing intuitively to, or this curiosity to learn more, this open-hearted space. What makes me feel cherished? What makes me feel respected and honored? Those are the questions. It's not just this red flag, green flag stuff. Because you're completely making everyone one and the same instead of your own unique experience that has shaped you into the beautiful being that you are, that now has the heart's desires that you uniquely have. We got to get back to the energetics here. The energetics, understanding what's going on in here, going back and being honest, taking responsibility for our wounding, and from the wounding of our past, understanding what we do need, what we actually uniquely need in partnerships that we value, that we are allowing ourselves to finally ask for instead of holding back and thinking we're asking for too much, and growing with that. You know, I love that quote, we're all just walking each other home. We're all just walking each other home. If we take on that mindset of we're all just walking each other home, there's a much more of a collaborative, harmonious, unified energy there of, I'm going to be honest about my shortcomings and my toxicity, my own red flags that I'm putting out there into the world. I'm going to be honest about them. I'm going to get vulnerable about them. And I'm going to work on the things about me that I know aren't my higher self. And at the same time, I'm going to allow myself to be in partnerships where we're working together and the other person is honest and takes accountability for the things that they need to work on because of their past experiences. How much more deep and meaningful is it to really be in the trenches, if you will, be in the trenches with someone else and learn how to collaborate together, learn how to integrate two different life experiences together because maybe you both value the same thing at the end of the day. If you both value the same thing at the end of the day, in my opinion, that's really all that matters. All the other stuff can be worked out if both partners are honest and vulnerable and open and willing. There's so much more that we could have in relationships, in partnerships, if we did take a little step away from the idea of safety. There's too much focus on you have to be with someone who is emotionally safe with you. No person is perfectly healed. No person has no emotional damage that they're bringing to the table. Especially at, I'm 42, especially at this stage in the game. I'm 42, I'm divorced, I have 2 kids. I come with a lot of stuff. And people in my age group, we do. So I have a lot of red flags. I have a lot of toxic stuff that I'm constantly working through and trying to move into a higher space. Can we stop pointing the finger at everyone else and learn instead, learn better skills to work together to walk each other home? And in so doing, so much more fulfillment is there. There's too much settling for something else that is maybe a little bit easier, but isn't as vulnerable. It isn't as raw. It isn't as real. And if that is your path, that is your path. But for those of us who are choosing to really grow and learn how to develop these real deep dynamics, you're going to have to put your blinders on with that, because a lot of people are not going to understand that, and a lot of people are going to cast some judgment on that. And those are the people that I'm speaking to on this channel. This is my intention moving forward. So I wanted to lay this down so that we're all on the same page. There's this man on Instagram that I follow. I cannot think of his name in this moment. He just came to me. That he talks a lot about this, about, there's 2 paths that we can choose in relationships. And one is basically a high functioning, very safe, very high functioning, very high efficiency, if you will, high efficiency type relationship. And it's very steady, and it's very consistent, and it's very safe, and it works. It works. And then there's the other path that maybe is not quite as traveled and therefore is misunderstood. And that is the path that I am on. And that is the path of really looking at everything with raw honesty, vulnerability, and looking for the growth, looking for the freedom, looking for the potential to have more fulfillment, more connection, more deeper love. I hope this video helped those of you that maybe are on this journey and needed that little bit of validation too. I'm here, I see you. If you found value in this video, please do subscribe. I really appreciate the support that comes when I have more subscribers come on. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I'm sending so much love. Bye-bye for now.